So what's amazing about this, just before we start, is that we're doing a sequel to a previous video, and Rich has found the exact notebooks that we used for the previous video.
There we go.
So how cool is that? That's fantastic.
Yeah, a sequel. That's quite a mark of, I suppose,
sequel.
How far the clouds have come, isn't it? Like we're self-referential now. We're
yeah, it's like cookbook revisited.
Yes,
but it's our videos revisited.
Reached that point.
Yeah,
yeah. Fantastic.
Or we're just probing old grand, hoping that we'll get views. So yes, hello everyone. Welcome to this sequel, I suppose we can call it, of a video that we did over 4 years ago now.
Yes,
we worked out. It was
2019.
June 2019.
Yeah,
the days before we knew what COVID-19 was and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So in this kind of time when Doctor Who magazine have done this big poll, 60 years of Doctor Who, we're very much thinking about favourite episodes and favourite things and all that sort of stuff. I thought we'll revisit a video we did called Saving Episodes, where we kind of tweaked a tag that was going on at the time. Do you remember tags that were used on YouTube?
Yeah. Was it like the whole of the BBC burned down?
Yeah, and you can save 100 episodes, and we were like, a bit much. Let's do one for each Doctor.
Yeah, I see.
So we're kind of revisiting that. It's Desert Island Doctor Who. You're stuck with just one story for each Doctor.
Yeah.
What are you going to pick?
Okay.
And what we did last time is we gave ourselves a minute to run into this burning building and take out all the film cans and DVDs and things.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that again, basically. No tweaks, really. It's just the same old thing. Last time, for Paul, obviously, you're only faced with a TV movie.
What did we do last time?
So we said, I don't think you chose one because you couldn't think of one.
No, I've got 8 just crossed out.
So
it'll probably be the same for me this time.
Yeah,
so
I thought what we could do is like a little stipulation is that we can allow ourselves, you don't have to have them, but a maximum of one Big Finish audio, and then one book or comic expanded media thing, just in case that we're like, so we'll have those two as like little things, maybe if you need them.
So there we go.
So I suppose let's just get started. A minute to run into this burning building and find out what episode, one story for each Doctor are we going to choose. Are we ready? Don't start thinking yet, Richard. Don't start thinking yet. Here we go. Make sure it's 1 minute, not 1 hour. And off we go. Now.
Right.
We've got them written down?
Got my 13.
Cool.
Got them all there.
Well, that was stressful. That is actually really stressful. I think. Have you got everything written down?
Got everything, yeah. Got
before we go through the list,
the old ones,
which Doctors did you struggle with the most, out of interest?
I think maybe the 5th Doctor.
Okay.
Perhaps.
Right.
I didn't want to go for the obvious. Well,
yeah.
I went for a obvious one, but like 5th Doctor. The 11th Doctor's always a bit of a funny one as well, actually, I think.
Have you got too many to choose from?
No, not sort of the opposite. I don't know. Sounds bad, doesn't it? But like, there's like your obvious Day of the Doctor or whatever, and I don't know. It's Whereas like I think with the Capaldi one, or maybe I don't know, like someone like obviously with Colin, something like that, or maybe Troughton a bit, or Eccleston. There are those kind of obvious ones, your obvious favourites.
Yeah.
Right, any difficult ones for you particularly?
Weirdly, the last one I wrote was Troughton.
Order, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of was able to do every Doctor kind of in order, but Troughton I just couldn't think off the top of my head, so I just had to jump back.
Yeah.
Which is weird, actually, but there we go. Would you like to give us yours first? I think I might have gone first last time, so.
Okay, we're doing everything in one go.
Yeah. So so let's go. Bounce across each Doctor. Yeah. So if you give me your Hartnell that you've saved.
See, for Hartnell, I have put 2 down. I think. Okay, I'm just gonna. It'll be very interesting to compare this to what we said in our poll videos.
I can vaguely remember off the top of my head which ones we chose last time for this video. So You go ahead.
Well, as I said to you, I recently got the season 2 box set. Thank you to Daniel on Twitter for that. And I've been watching through season 2. I rewatched Dalek Invasion of Earth. I know we said it didn't really deserve to be number 1, but I think, yeah. You mentioned this to me, the idea of it, and I kind of thought, oh, actually, yeah, for my Hartnell one, I might say that. Either that or the Daleks, I think, for me.
Okay.
I'd have got a lot of fun with it this time around.
Interesting. Yeah. I think your one last time was the War Machines.
It was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've got them here. I was like, I'm just trying to think of them from the memory. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. You know what? The original Dalek serial, I kind of agree with you now, both out of sort of prosperity and also it's actually better than I think sometimes we remember it being.
Yeah, give it credit for
it is quite a nice... It's long, but it's
very kind of archetypal as well in terms of a good old adventure story. Like it establishes so many of those. Well, obviously, it's not the first time those tropes have been done in a broader context, but certainly for Doctor Who, it establishes that type of story.
And I read the David Whittaker novelisation, which I've never read before, and it is really good. It's really good. So, yeah, I went for the Aztecs.
Okay.
Because it's one. I was going to do a big watch along of just everything. I thought I'll just start in Unearthly Child and then go all the way through.
Yes.
And I got to the censorites and gave up. But the Aztecs, I remember rewatching and I was like, actually, this is a really good story. Yeah. Originally, I'd put Keys of Marinus, which I do like, but I think the Aztecs in terms
4
of
years
stronger.
Ago you put that, did you?
Yeah.
Did you? Okay. Interesting.
I think the Aztecs is just a strong. It's a 4-parter, really tightly, nicely done, great themes, just a really good historical.
No, I hadn't seen either of those 4 years ago when we did it. I have now seen both of them actually, but only once, so maybe I'll repeat viewings.
Give it time,
give it time. For that. I mean, I certainly know that the historicals from the Hartnell era are generally very well.
Looking through this list, it is the only historical as well. But if you're going to have a historical, I think Hartnell's it's kind of got to be, really, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Sure. I was tempted by. So I watched The Romans for the first time yesterday on my birthday.
Yeah.
There's some great. It's just a comedy, really.
Yeah.
It is a comedy. You've watched it recently.
Yeah, exactly. So. I think it's a great one for Hartnell. As well, in terms of his mischievousness, that's where it really kind of starts to come out. I think that's where I kind of noticed it, because I was kind of watching it and thinking back to the other ones I'd seen from that season in order, and I couldn't really. I was trying to remember what had stuck out to me from them, and I was kind of thinking about the main cast and stuff. And this is the one really. I think where Hartnell. Yeah, there are other moments, obviously, but the end of Dark Invasion of Earth.
Yeah, it's worth giving that a shout out, especially because I think it used to be very looked down upon, like in other eras and things like that. And it's our friend Pete's favourite. He said said yesterday it was maybe his favourite classic story. So there you go. Troughton.
So I've been boring and put Tomb.
I was going to put Tomb. as well.
Actually, now I say that, I think again beforehand I was thinking you may be doing something like Macroterra, maybe.
I was that. So Tomb, Macroterra were two that I was very close to putting down.
What have you gone for in the end?
I went for Seeds of Death again. I put last time we did it. It's a trusty one for me because I always remember it being so good and underrated. It's been a long time since I've watched it though, so I want to watch it again and just reaffirm that it's as good as I remember it being. But like I say, the other ones that were going to be there were Tomb or Macroterra. I tried watching Tomb yesterday actually, and I couldn't quite get into it. And I don't know if it's just the mood I was in or whatever, but. Macroterra is a really good one.
Macroterra, yeah.
So maybe
a lot of them, and it goes from the 60s as well. A lot of them I've only seen once. I think probably actually from the 60s, aside from like the big temple stories, it might only be like the stuff I'm rewatching from season 2 that I've seen before.
Yeah,
I've seen multiple times.
That you're watching again.
Yeah. So, or obviously the Unearthly Child and things like that. But a lot of them are kind of more like that. So,
Pertwee.
I have to come with Spearhead myself.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I did. You went for that last time, didn't you?
Slightly. Yeah, I put Spearhead or Sea Devils. Spearhead. It's another one actually where it's slightly difficult to pick for me because I think definitely from the first season, Spearhead for me, but then the first season isn't so representative of what comes afterwards.
Especially Spearhead in particular, I'd say, is such a different vibe given it's all shot on film. it really does feel different.
But then, kind of when I think of like a stereotypical unit family master adventure, I know people like go towards stuff like Demon's Names, whatever, or Green Death. That's gonna be yours, isn't it? I suppose.
I'm surprising it's not. No,
it's not. Okay. Well, anyway, but like if people go to those sorts of stories, I kind of feel like the perfect one maybe doesn't exist, or maybe a hot take, but like I kind of, I'm looking for that story. Nothing quite ever stands out to me in that regard, I don't think.
Sure.
So I just went with it. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I haven't gone with Green Death.
What do you think I went for? I don't think you're going to get it, actually. I talked about it a lot on Twitter when I rewatched it recently.
What, season 7 one?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Not Inferno.
Nope.
Narrowing it down.
You've got two choices.
Is it the Silurians?
Yes,
yeah,
it is the Silurians.
Yeah.
It is absolutely Silurians.
Yeah.
So, as much as I love the Green Death, and I think it is a really great story, and I picked that last time we did this.
Yeah.
I rewatched Doctor Who and the Silurians because I love season 7. I love Liz. I love the Brigadier. I love that vibe, and it is very much it's not typical of the Pertwee era. It's very proto Pertwee era,
yes.
But I love that time capsule of that era.
Yeah.
Watched Doctor Who and the Silurians, spaced out over a few evenings. Absolutely loved it. I think it's fantastic. It's got great themes still in terms of the whole planet stuff, and them being sort of trying to reclaim their land. The plague stuff is so well done, and especially in the environment, the mindset we have now. Yeah.
Well, yeah, a nice little kind of a boost. What you get, because it's past, obviously, you get to that part of the story and it can take a different turn.
Yeah, it
nice
kicks things up again. Just at that moment in the story, you're like, oh, we might be going on a bit long here, because I think it's almost at the episode 4 mark. So can't fault it. Doctor and the Silurians is absolutely one of my favourite stories, let alone Pertwee's. I just love it. I'm gushing about it, but it's because it's fantastic. So that's my one. Now Tom Baker.
Okay, again, obvious choice, but I've just gone for Genesis with this.
Okay. Did you go for Genesis last time? I can't remember what you went for.
So last time I put Genesis Morbius.
I think if you decided on one for definite, it probably was Genesis, wasn't it?
I can't remember. Yeah. Probably. Yeah. Again, nothing too much more to say. That obviously an obvious choice. Like obviously City of Death is the contender. But yeah, I suppose I gravitate towards the more obvious ones for Tom, really.
Just because they are classics for a reason.
Yeah, for a reason, to be honest.
What do you reckon I went for?
I reckon you went for... So it's going to be a Hinchcliffe and Holmes one.
No.
Is it not? So Douglas Adams one.
Actually, you know what? Thinking back, as much as I like the choice I've chosen, I would change it.
Yeah. Is it season 15?
No.
18?
No.
What am I missing here? Gosh.
Did I? Maybe I misanswered you, but it is an Adams.
Oh, it is an Adams. Sorry, right? Yeah. Okay. So it's Douglas Adams one, season 17.
Yeah.
Not City of Death, because that'd be quite obvious.
It is City of Death.
Oh, is it? Okay.
But that's why I would change it now.
Yeah.
To either, and these are going to shock people, but they are my favourite Baker kind of
Underworld
story. Yes, Underworld.
Yeah.
No. The Sunmakers.
Yeah.
Or the Ribos Operation.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are absolute gems. I'm really annoyed that I didn't pick those, to be honest. City of Death is a fantastic story, though, and if you're hard pressed to pick a Baker story, you can't go wrong.
No, the Keys to Time is very interesting for me because it's like the one season I still haven't touched. I've read Pirate Planet novelisation. I have a couple of other new ones. It's just waiting for me there. I think there's sort of maybe I'm working through them now. Like the 7 classic stories that exist that I haven't watched.
Yeah,
and then Keys to Time as well as a package.
Well,
like 3 or 4 Hartnells, 3 or 4 Troughton. Time.
I think for Baker, people always gravitate towards. I'm just going to write those down, just because I know it doesn't matter. No one's ever going to see these other than us in 4 years' time. But I think that for my dissertation, if you didn't know, you probably do if this is on my channel. So anyway, I did a video on the Douglas Adams, Graham Williams era of Doctor Who. it's an era now very close to my heart because of
very
that.
brand.
I've very much looked into it. A bit like for your dissertation, you looked into the Whisker historicals and that sort of stuff. So naturally, they become special stories after that.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, I had a massive appreciation of all these stories. So like season 15, The Sunmakers is best. Ribos Operation, I would have probably said Androids of Tara a while ago, but Ribos Operation is such a well-written story from Robert Holmes for season 16, and then City of Death, it is really great.
No, I'm really excited to get into Key to Time eventually. Maybe when it all hits iPlayer, and maybe that's the moment.
I think so.
I have got BritBox. I could wait for the collection set, but yeah, I think because I'm getting through season 2 now as well, and I watched like Mind Robber. I watched that recently on BritBox. I'm getting through the Heart and
You've never seen the Mind Robber before?
Never seen Mind Robber until recently.
Another great Troughton.
So it's getting through them. I think once I get down to that final season, I'll be like, oh yeah, I can't wait any longer. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that.
Yeah. If I was hard pressed now, I'm just thinking through. I would say The Sunmakers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really underrated. Go and give it a watch. Davison.
I went with 5 Doctors.
Snap.
For this, yeah. So last time I put 5 Doctors or Caves. I didn't want to go with Caves for this time. I just I like, obviously it's a great story and it's lauded for a reason, but like it's such an obvious choice, and I think particularly as I said in a different video, I think like, after watching it on the big screen at the BFI and stuff, the new edition. It's just a really nice, one of those nice celebratory stories, like a Sunday afternoon feet up story. Like nothing too, not much substance there or anything. They kind of build up to that reveal about like Barista and stuff. It just, it's nothing like groundbreaking, but it's a nice comforting watch, isn't it? With all the characters,
it's a beautiful comfort blanket.
It's what it is.
It's special to me. I got the DVD files version.
Oh yes,
ages ago.
Yeah,
it's been 2008 or something. Like
one of the first.
Whenever that collection came out,
first classic ones to do. I think.
Yeah, it's the first. Yeah, it was like free with the Father's Day DVD. I think. And so it's one of my first classics. I put Caves last time, and you're right, it is renowned for a reason. But the 5 Doctors is such a comfort blanket. It's my Day of the Doctor equivalent. I know a lot of people kind of see that in the same anniversary regard, but 5 Doctors, I'm well aware that the plot is basically just let's walk across a quarry to get to the Sumo Rassilon. But it's just such a fun, great story, loads of nice moments and things, so it's good. Awesome. Baker 2, Colin Baker.
Yeah, revelation for me. It's consistent with what I've said in the poll video, I think. It just stands out for me again, especially after seeing it at the BFI last year, and just love it.
I would have gone for Revelation.
Have you gone?
Last time I went for Trial of a Time Lord. I think I went for
the whole thing, or
I put Trial of a Time Lord down here, but I think I would have gone for what's the Vervoid one called? Terror of the Vervoid.
Yeah.
So I would have gone for Revelation because you're right. Watching it at the BFI with a load of other fans, there was loads of great gags that I'd missed when I first watched it. I do still think it isn't my kind of story though. So I went for a Big Finish instead.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard this one. It's called Davros.
Yes.
Have you heard? So you've heard that one before?
Is that? I know the one you mean. One of the villain. Trilogy.
Yeah, the villain trilogy.
Yes.
It's.
Who is it written by? That one.
Lance Parkin.
Okay. Yeah.
Very sort of that kind of Wilderness Years writer.
I definitely got it. I think I have. Yeah. Once upon a time. That character piece.
I kind of think I could have put the One Doctor as well. I don't know if you've heard that one.
Not heard it, but vaguely.
Yeah, Clayton Hickman wrote that.
Yeah.
That is a really good one.
Wants to do with Mel?
It's got Mel and the Sixth Doctor, and they meet.
Is that like how they meet?
No, that's the wrong Doctors. That's the wrong Doctors. Yeah.
Okay.
The One Doctor is where the Doctor meets someone posing to be the Doctor, played by Christopher Biggins, who is bloody great. That is a very good one. But Davros is so well written. You've got Colin Baker and Terry Malloy, two fantastic actors with some really great dialogue, great monologues. Davros has loads of great monologues in this thing. Yeah, it's a great character piece. Really, really good stuff. It's free on Spotify. It's one of the first 50.
Of course.
So give it a listen. Although they've done Villains
There
Trilogy
was a
box set
recent
that's just
thing, I think, wasn't there? Yeah, like a download deal thing. So.
Either get it on Big Finish app or Spotify. Just because the Baker stories on telly don't really do it for me as much as the expanded content for Colin. And that's that. Really. What about McCoy?
Again, obvious one, but Remembrance.
Oh, Richard.
Yeah, I know.
No, I thought you were going to give a curveball and maybe go for...
Don't think so.
No, you think it's a classic for a reason?
Yeah, like going back to when we discussed them on the poll video, I'm not sure there's anything I'd put above it. There are ones I have a soft spot for, maybe like Battlefield, Silver Nemesis type thing. Yeah, what can I say? Have you gone for a TV one again?
I did go for TV
one.
Again.
Okay.
I went for Survival last time, but do you want to guess which I went for?
Ghostlight.
No. But that's my second. That would have been my second choice.
Yeah. Okay.
Instinctively,
so
I went with. I was like, the pen is going to tell me what I'm doing. Yep, it's that one. So I just wrote
Greatest
it.
Show.
Nope.
No.
McCoy's got very strong wrong. No, I don't like Fenric.
No. What are we left with here?
You're on the wrong end of the era, mate.
Am I? Oh, Paradise Towers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Paradise Towers.
Okay.
Paradise Towers is definitely, the more I think about it, the world that it has and everything like that. I just love it. I can look past. In fact, I kind of like the campiness of it because it's so at odds with this really dark concept of like a society on the brink of collapse.
Yes.
And I think the campy sort of way that they play it almost works in favour of that. Paradise Towers.
You quite like Delta as well. I forgot.
I do quite like Delta. I think Delta's. I like it, but not enough to say that it's the best of the season. I think Paradise Towers is like head and shoulders the best of season 24.
Yeah,
it's really good. But yeah, Ghostlight would have been a close second for me because I do love that vibe. It's a nice 3-parter. Yes. But Paradise Towers, absolutely. So McGann, have you given a big cross through 8 again?
Yes, I've skipped this one out.
Okay. That's just the way it is.
You'll have gone with a comic or something.
I went for a comic. I went for one called The Glorious Dead. Okay, which is a big finish. No, it's a Doctor Who magazine comic strip from 1999, I think. So around the time I was born, maybe that's why it's got that little thing around it. It's in a big, chunky graphic novel. It's like a nice green cover. It's got Izzy and Croton the Cyberman on the front cover. It's this great battle between the Doctor and certain powerful... It's got the Master in it. It's really good. Great twist at the end. It's fantastic. If I could recommend any 8th Doctor graphic novel, I'd recommend The Glorious Dead. And it's a great... It's got the whole arc in that graphic novel. Endgame's very good as well. That's the one with the Celestial Toymaker.
I was going to say, I
might go back and revisit that actually.
Yeah, because I haven't read any of them, but I came across it and I was like, oh my god, there's an 8th Doctor one as well. Yeah.
If you're to read any of the comics, I'd go for the 8th Doctor stuff because that's the strongest consistently. Glorious Dead. I grabbed a comic book from the shelf instead of the TV movie. Eccleston.
So last time I went with Dalek, this time Father's Day.
You've
rewatched.
Yeah, you've really gone for that, haven't you?
Gone for Father's Day. Yeah. I think I probably already explained it in the poll video, really. But I just think as a standalone piece, great, and a real sort of monumental story for Doctor Who as well, in terms of quite groundbreaking, I suppose, in the sense of doing like a paradox thing and the emotional weight of it as well.
Sure.
A kind of first in lots of ways and really, really well executed, I think.
Pretty well written by Paul Cornell as well.
Very well written by Paul Cornell. You will have gone for the finale, or have you gone for Empty Child?
I did go for the finale.
Yeah, there you go.
I went for Rose last time, and I can see why, because it is such a great piece of telly in terms of that is how you bring back Doctor Who, and it nails it. But I look back at that finale and I could watch that any day of the week and be thoroughly entertained. It is a masterpiece, and you almost take it for granted because it is the finale, and you're like, well, of course it's kind of the big epic, but that's my favourite Eccleston now. I love The Empty Child, but I think Bad Wolf Part of the Ways is just such great telly, and it's Russell, height of his powers. You can almost see how it could have been the last... If Doctor Who had finished in that season, it's set up to be like that. And it's fantastic.
There's even another location story actually from that one. I don't know if I might have tweeted about this in the past actually, but the cafe, the Chippy, has been demolished.
No,
I'd already found this out online, but I walked past it in Cardiff recently, and it's just nothing there. But it's actually. Do you know that it's the same building that Rose and the Doctor stood outside of when they see Pete die for the first time in Father's Day?
It's a reused location.
You know. It's like the building where the posters are on, the Bad Wolf posters, the Thatcher posters.
And then weirdly, that makes that scene have even more weight, knowing that they're talking about that stuff.
And then of course, when the TARDIS lands, obviously in Parting of the Ways, it's like right next to that corner, the road corner, where obviously in the revised version he died outside the church.
Yeah.
But in that first version, it's all the same place.
Wow.
Is it canonically be the same place? I don't know, but it should be, I think.
I mean, nice. For those scenes alone of Rose and Jackie, which is amazing that I'm in this Dalek epic fighting at the end, the year 100,000, and I'm like, those scenes of Rose and Jackie in the TARDIS.
I think people always talk about like the cut, isn't it? Like from Daleks in space or whatever, so the chicken going round. Yeah,
it's brilliant.
Great.
That is Russell T Davies.
Yeah, love it.
Who, in a nutshell. David Tennant.
Number one. Yeah. So last time I went with the Library to Sparta or Waters of Mars. I can't remember which one I picked.
I think you would have gone for the Library.
Just put the Library,
you were a big fan of that Moffat-y
early era. Standout story, really, I think.
It feels like a Series 5 story that's come a year early, doesn't it?
Kind of does, doesn't it? Yeah, like, I just thought that what always gets me kind of is like the climax of it, like obviously with River's death and him saving her, and it's just such an affirming moment, I think, at the end when you have that narration from River over what's happening, and I'd have to kind of go back to it to really kind of pinpoint what it is about it, but like it kind of sums up the show kind of and the ethos of the show for me almost, like, you know,
especially the cold open to the second
some days everybody dies but not today or something. It's something like that, whatever it is.
Everybody knows that everybody dies but not today.
Cool, brilliant.
Great stuff. I like that story as well more than I used to, so I tend to agree. Now, last time I put Stolen Earth Journey's End, great memories of that, obviously.
Yes.
This time I chose one and then I crossed it out.
Okay.
I went for Daleks in Manhattan. Is that shocking?
I respect that.
Yeah? You Put the Devil in Me, all that sort of stuff. Love it. Love the era.
Special story.
I keep going back to it, wondering why people don't like it, and I can't see what it is that they don't like it.
No.
Special story as well. It was one of the first sort of volumes that I got on DVD.
Yeah, likewise actually.
I remember that cover of the Doctor and Martha sort of
I don't have it anymore. I need to rebuy that. I can have it on the shelf again.
I don't know. I got rid of a few of my individual ones, but I kept some, and I can't remember whether I kept that one or not. I don't think I did. I've got the Series 3 finale because I lent it to my cousin, and their dog got hold of it, so there's a big tooth mark in the DVD case.
That's a special moment. The future.
But I went for the future kind. I went for the Daleks in Manhattan. I have a great time with it all the time. And we got Andrew Garfield in it as well. What's not to love? Miranda Raisin as Tallulah, 3 L's and an H. Love it. Great stuff. I almost picked Voyage of the Damned again for sentimental reasons, but I really like Daleks in Manhattan. So Midnight is up there, obviously.
Of course,
but
that's
the one I'm going to go for.
Enough,
There's just so much to choose, and I wanted to give a bit of praise to one that I personally love, and I don't think many other people do. Smith, you said you had a bit of trouble with this.
I've actually just gone with the same one that I put last time. I didn't realise I had. I put Christmas Carol in the end. I didn't want to go with like the obvious thing, like Day of the Doctor. We discussed it with the poll video, like. I do think it's a very strong story, but it's an obvious choice. It's representative of the era as a whole. It comes so late in the day. I know that there's stuff as well like Vincent and the Doctor that could have been up there. I suppose 11th Hour maybe. I mean, they were the three, weren't they, for the poll thing?
They were, yeah.
I do think with 11th Hour, I think it's a very strong story. I can't remember if I said this in the poll thing or not, but there is some stuff like with Amy as the kissogram and stuff I don't think is aged very well.
Yeah, I think going back to watch that might be a bit
you go back and you just kind of think, why, like, this was so one of those things that's kind of so avoidable. Why did you do this? No, I don't know. But yeah, as a way to open a series in there and stuff, still very good. So for you, would it be Vincent the Doctor for this?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was Vincent the Doctor.
Yeah.
I will say this though. The Big Finish stuff that I've been listening to recently, Jacob Goodman and Safi Iringar as the Doctor and Valerie, is so strong, ridiculously strong. It's got no right being that good. Because Big Finish nowadays, I would say, is a bit hit and miss.
Yeah. So how far along are they with this now?
So they're 2 box sets in.
4 sets, 2 released. Is that right?
And then they're going to be releasing a special bonus story in November. So that brings the run up to.
And why does that come in the run? Does that come between box sets?
That comes between the 2 box sets that are coming out. So it's slap bang in the middle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure.
So they are still releasing it in chronological order.
Good. Yeah.
But I mean, I just wanted to make sure I'd said something about that because it is really good. I've listened to Geronimo twice.
Yeah.
I got the other set for my birthdays, and I've already listened to 2 stories out of it, and they're really strong. It's just such good stuff, and I could honestly put like one of those box sets as like top of the Smith list because they're really good stuff, and I can't wait.
It's very interesting to see, isn't it? That kind of new era emerging.
It is, and it's a good
place to put it, isn't it? Yeah,
and it doesn't feel shoehorned because the whole Clara stuff is still very much at the forefront in a way.
Interesting. Okay,
it's kind of it's never forgotten,
and it's nice because obviously with the best one in the world, the last half of the era or Series 7, I suppose, more than the special and stuff, isn't that well regarded. So to have something from later Smith that's really acclaimed is great. Yeah,
I can't recommend that enough. If you were thinking like, I've got a voucher for Big Finish, or I've got 20 quid to spare.
Interesting. Yeah,
get one of those box sets because personally, they're really good. But yeah, no, I went for Vincent in summary. Yeah, because it's bloody good.
Yeah.
Richard Curtis. What more could you want?
What more?
Fantastic. Capaldi. That was this one. I think I know which you went for.
Well, linking to what we were saying, I did in the end go with Heaven Sent, actually.
Of course you did.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been the Series 10 finale. I do think it kind of drops the ball a little bit in the second half. Not in a massive major way or anything, but just in the sense that it's a bit more... part 1 has such a good build up to the cliffhanger and stuff, and then the second half, I don't know, it has its moments, but there are other kind of sort of more dead periods, I think. Or we're just almost kind of waiting for him to regenerate, or to begin regenerating, kind of.
Yeah, I sort of see what you mean, yeah. But I think that you've got so many good moments throughout that second half.
Yeah, I mean, the Master stuff,
the Master
with
stuff,
Bill, obviously.
The speech, the whole...
Well,
I don't want to...
Yeah.
I'm not doing this to beat someone and all that sort of
that's
stuff.
just amazing. So, yeah.
Do you think you would still stick with Heaven Sent, though?
I think
like a piece of
think so. Not, it lends itself to being, if I was on a desert island, it lends itself to being watched over again. I think as a chain piece, as a masterpiece, probably. But if I was going maybe with like aesthetically, in terms of the characters that you get and the kind of broader range of things going on in the Series 10 finale.
Yeah, and also, would that be your only Master story as well?
Aside from 5 Doctors.
5 Doctors, I forgot about that, yeah.
Not quite, yeah, okay.
Okay, interesting. Right. So last time I went for Deep Breath, I don't remember that. I thought I went for Well Enough Time. But I went with that Well Enough Time again.
Sure, yeah.
I think it got the top of that poll for good reason.
Yes.
I do love Oxygen.
Could have been Oxygen, I was going to say, yeah.
I love Oxygen.
Yeah.
But I love oxygen. I love air. I love breathing. But Well Enough in Time, I just I think it's just really well written, really great moments. Right down to John Sim putting on eyeliner. I mean, it's brilliant. It's fantastic. Yeah. So we're reaching the end now. We're not going to do 14 because obviously that's quite hard given that we've not seen any of the episodes
What's
yet.
What's it called? Liberty of the Daleks.
Liberation of the Daleks.
Liberation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So yeah.
Maybe not. So again, I'm going to be on brand with this and just go and say the Series 12 finale for me.
Yeah. Timeless Children.
Yeah. It's representative of what the era is about for me, really, and the stuff. And I know there's stuff that people laugh about, like obviously the twist and like the Cybermask and stuff. But for me, it just kind of pack a punch and it's like a story about the genesis of regeneration, kind of, and what regeneration is and what it means, and all that kind of stuff plays into that at the time of child stuff. Even the Cybermasters, as goofy as they are, like this kind of like perversion of regeneration energy and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I've gone for a while about it. I accept that, like there are moments in the story where they leave a little bit more to be desired, perhaps the more kind of run-aroundy parts. I love the Brendan stuff in the first half. The first half, the second half stronger for me. First half a bit more take it or leave it. But
yeah, I was surprised on rewatch how I didn't like that first part as much as I
remember going wild for it when it first. I think I remember seeing tweets from you like saying, "Oh, yeah."
What tweets of when I was
Ascension of the Cybermen when it went out? I think. Yeah.
Was I all for it?
I think so. Yeah.
Possibly.
Like saying it's so high octane and oh my god. Yeah.
You know what? I think you're right. Actually, yeah. I think I was
really.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Rings a bell.
Yeah, but you know what? You're probably right. But then again, at the time, I watched Future of the Jadoon like 3 times a week. Okay, so what do I know? I went for something a bit more small scale, I suppose you'd say.
Eve of the Daleks.
Yes. Yeah. Eve of the Daleks. And again, like we were saying, there's been that recent Chibnall interview.
Yes.
Hearing about how that was very much just a kind of, do you want another episode? If so, you've got this much time, this much money.
Exactly.
There you go.
There's the story itself. There's the story of how it came to be, and it's
They literally hired Aisling Bea, and she was like, "Can I see the script?" And he's like, "In a few weeks, in a week maybe, tomorrow." Tops. So. I think I admire Chibnall for that, and I think it's really the one where he was pushed to be like, right, how do I...
come up with your best material almost. Yeah. Really...
Diamonds are formed under pressure, and I think that is genuinely a Jodie story, which I am actually like...
It's got such a momentum to it, and such a... Yeah, it doesn't really let up at all, and I love how it kind of builds for those climax as well. It just keeps firing through.
And even for the scenes when... Yaz and the Doctor are talking about those things, it's surprising that doesn't kill the tension.
No, there's still tension there very much, isn't there? Yeah, it's all
because it feels like it's that extra level of, oh my gosh, things are really building up, stuff are bubbling under the surface. It's like, oh my god, stuff is happening. If you just don't think about what happens, where it all leads to. I remember, I still get that feeling. I remember at the time of watching those scenes and being like, wow, they're doing this. This is fantastic.
Oh, it was, totally, yeah.
So, Eve of the Daleks. There we go.
There we have it.
Those are all the episodes we've saved from the Burning Building. Those are the ones we're stuck with on the desert island.
And it will be interesting in the future if we were if we do
we'll have 2 other Doctors to join in. Hopefully,
I'm interested to see for the date that the 14th Doctor one.
Because we'll have to choose one of those
ends
3.
Up being like the fan favourite and how that ends up going. You can't really predict that yet.
Whether Wild Blue Yonder will be a bit of a wild card. The Star Beast will be a fan pleasing classic. Whether the Giggle will be a big epic that everyone just remembers as whatever. It's going to be exciting.
Absolutely.
So this time next year, if we did this again, we'd have that and also a full series of shooters to choose from. So it's exciting stuff. It's really exciting. As for now, that's what we've got. That's what we're stuck with on the desert island.
Yep.
So I'm off to watch Doctor Who and the Silurians again.
Yeah.
That'll kill a few weeks on the desert island. What would your 13 episodes be? Let us know. You're allowed a big finish. You're allowed a comic or a book or something like that. Other than that, there you go. That's it. Save your episodes and let us know what you've chosen. That's quite fun. I like that we've done that for the 60th.
Yes.
And kind of given each Doctor their
nice.
time.
Yes.
And I guess the next time we'll be talking like this is when we do the final poll video for Doctor Who.
Guess so, and just more
Doctor
stuff,
Magazine.
I suppose. Hopefully, if we fit something in before the episodes go out as well, that would be quite nice.
Yes.
Final predictions or something.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get
it's
them
creeping
in.
up on us. It's
We're nearly there.
It's like a month away, isn't it, basically? So
God.
it's been a long wait, but we're...
Yeah. Come November, we'll be hitting you with some content for sure. So I hope you've enjoyed these recent videos. Do check out the ones on Richard's channel. We've done the last sort of Doctor Who magazine poll video.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll be doing the final one of those when that comes out.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
So yes, exciting stuff. I'm really bad at ending these things.
No.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
There you go. That worked out well. Nice.
Hope you enjoyed that video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you click subscribe so you don't miss a thing. And if you've got a few shekels to spare, you can find a link in the description below to my Ko-fi page, where you can support myself and the channel. Anything you give is greatly appreciated and will go towards creating bigger and better content. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you next time.